Welcome back to the channel. Now, just before Christmas last year, I put together a top 5 cheap RCs under $100 video. That's actually proved to be really popular on the channel. Now, we're obviously into 2021, which is why I thought it'd be a really good idea to do a bit of an updated list, and that is what we're going to be doing today. At number 5, I have put the Highbox in 16889. Now, this is a really nice, cheap, budget RC. I really think there is a good attention to detail, but not only that, I really think the quality is there. Now, this is one of those RCs I do find myself using quite often, especially when I'm at home out in the back garden. Now, I also hand this over to my 2.5-year-old and he absolutely loves it as well. Now, I did review this one, which is the 1/16 scale version, and I did the 1/18 scale 18859 on my channel as well. Both really nice little monster trucks. I think the 16889 does just come in above the 1/18 scale version because it is slightly bigger. Obviously, it does have a little bit more ground clearance. And to be honest, I think it looks a little bit better as well, but that's just my opinion. Now, there is a few little features I really do like about this little monster truck. You do get some LED headlights. You actually get two 1000 milliamp lipos in the box, and the transmitter is a little bit more hobby grade looking compared to the 1/18 scale version that I spoke about previously. I think overall a really nice little first RC for someone, or potentially a nice little second RC if you just want to have a little mess about with it in your back garden. Now, one of the other things I actually like about this is the fact that it is so lightweight. I did make a point about saying that on the review video that I did. It did feel really lightweight, just pretty much glided across the surface, and that was one of the things I actually really liked about it. Just pretty much general operation, felt effortless, and that's why I've placed this thing in the number 5 spot. One final thing before we move on to number 4 is the fact that they do some upgrade parts for this as well. You can get metal shocks, metal drive shafts, all that sort of good stuff. All of that stuff is available to buy pretty much right now as well, so be sure to check that out if you are interested in buying one of these. But yeah, number 5, the Highbox in 16889. Now, a new addition to the top 5 list is the WL Toys 124018. Now, this is the desert buggy version of the very popular WL Toys lineup. Now, I recently done a review on this one on the channel, and I have to say I was very pleased. Now, I have had a lot of off-road RCs, and I have to admit, for the price being under $100, I really think this has to be one of the best budget RCs you can actually get, especially when it comes to using it off-road. You get a nice, really well built roll cage on this as well, which is definitely going to help absorb some impacts. Now, the shock setup is a little bit different to the 124019 and the 144001. The shocks do seem to be a little bit more hidden, a little bit more out the way on this, which is why I really think if you do end up having quite a big impact with this, the rear shocks are going to be a little bit more protected as opposed to the buggy versions. But yeah, when I actually did the video on this one recently, really enjoyed this. It definitely felt a little bit different to the 144001. Bearing in mind it does share the longer wheelbase with the 124019. But yeah, really nice buggy, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the features this actually comes with. Now, with the 124018, you do get a 2200 milliamp lipo in the box, as opposed to the 1500 milliamp lipo that you get with the 144001. Now, this does actually feature some LED lights as well on the roll cage, another nice little addition. You do see this quite often on a lot of the budget RCs. They are starting to include some LEDs at the front and back. Now, I think that's a really nice little feature. A lot of people actually like LEDs on RC cars, some people don't. It's all down to a matter of choice, but I think it's quite a nice little addition. Now, some people were a little bit shocked when I said I think this is the best looking WL Toys model in their lineup. I think we can all agree it is probably one of the best looking cars out there, especially when you're talking about budget RCs. I really think it is, pretty much up there with the best. I do like the look of the buggies. You know, I'm a massive fan of the 144001 and the 124019. I'm a massive fan of those buggies on my channel. But I think when it comes to WL Toys, this is one of the best looking RCs out there at the moment. And when it comes to spares, obviously it is pretty much the same platform as the 124019. It does have the longer wheelbase compared to the 144001, but again, it probably shares about 95% of the parts with the 144001, and that is an incredibly popular buggy, and parts can be had from pretty much everywhere. Also, a lot of LC racing parts actually fit these buggies and these trucks as well. So be sure to bear that in mind if you're thinking about spare parts availability. They are pretty much everywhere now. It's one of the things that I thought about before actually buying a WL Toys. I thought to myself, are spares going to be hard to get hold of? To be honest, they're all over Banggood, they're all over AliExpress, they're pretty much everywhere now, so you're not really going to have a problem. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 3 now, and we have the Pinecone Models SG1603, also known as the Hoonie truck or the Baby Infraction. There's many names out there now that people are actually starting to call this thing. I think you can obviously see that it does share some similarities to the Armour Infraction and obviously the Hoonie truck as well. Now this thing, I had a lot of fun with it when I did the review video. It's obviously made to do some sort of, to do some drifting and all that sort of stuff, not necessarily a speed run machine. I know some people are trying to make these things as quick as possible, but they are made for drifting. It does also feature a gyro built into the ESC and receiver unit as well, which again I did cover a little bit on my video that I did. Really nice little addition, especially if you're like me and you're not very good at RC drifting. That is definitely a nice feature to have inbuilt into the truck. Now, one of the issues some people have raised is the fact that spare parts aren't really readily available for this model yet. Now, you have to bear in mind this is quite a new release. I'm pretty sure there's going to be spare parts available to go, hopefully in the next couple of months, maybe even before. I'm pretty sure, especially considering how popular these have actually become in the last couple of months, spare parts aren't really going to be an issue. But can we just appreciate how good this thing actually looks, because it definitely belongs on this list, because it really does look great. Now, you do also get a 1200 milliamp lithium ion battery in the box. You don't get a LiPo, which is what most people would expect to receive when you buy an RC model now. You do get a lithium ion battery, but I've never had an issue with lithium ion, and you can also charge that on your normal LiPo charger. So yeah, I wouldn't rule it out. It's definitely a really good option as opposed to running LiPos. Now, it is worth noting this does actually come with a set of drift tyres in the box. Now, I actually preferred the rally tyres because I found that they gave me just enough traction, but they also allowed me to slide this thing around a little bit, do a few little drifts here and there. I found it was really enjoyable on the rally tyres. Now, when I switched over to the drift tyres, again, it was a lot of fun. But I don't know, I just wasn't really into the drift tyres. But again, it may be a different situation if you're running on a completely smooth and flat surface. The surface I was running on wasn't completely smooth and flat, which is why potentially that was why I didn't really take to them. But it's definitely worth bearing in mind, and it's definitely worth knowing you do get a set of hard plastic drift tyres in the box. I think one of the standout features on this model is the LED lights. I think they really do stand out. Bearing in mind you can change the settings on them as well. I really think that is one of the biggest selling points when it comes to this little Baby Infraction lookalike. It's a feature that I really like. Again, all the RCs we've mentioned so far do include LED lights, which I think is quite appealing these days. But yeah, really nice feature, and definitely a really good selling point for this little truck. These things come in at a pretty low price. They are 1/16 scale, so bear in mind they are quite small, but you will have a lot of fun with these. If you're looking to go fast, this may not be the best option. I think I achieved about 15 miles per hour out of mine. So you're not going to be breaking any speed records with this. So just bear in mind, if you're looking to get into drifting or you'd like to give RC drifting a go, this is going to be a really good cheap option for you. Okay, so let's move on to the number 2 spot. Now I'm going to put the WL Toys 124019 in the number 2 spot. Now, before you ask yourself why is that not at number 1, let's take a little look at why I'm putting it at number 2. Now, before I didn't have a 124019, but I do now. It is here with me. I have taken it out, I have tested it out, and to be honest, I have already converted it to brushless, but that is going to be in a future video. Now, compared to what is at number 1, there has been a few changes on this. It's very similar to the 124018, the Desert Buggy. This does share pretty much 99% of the parts with the Desert Buggy, compared to the 144001, for example, it does feature the longer wheelbase. It's about 5 centimeters longer wheelbase as opposed to the 144001. A lot of people do say, why do we buy an off-road buggy and turn it into an on-road speedrun machine? Now, the very simple and to the point answer for that is the fact that they are very, very capable. These things can take a proper beast in. You can fit some really powerful brushless systems into these, and they've actually proved themselves to be really reliable. Now, that's pretty much the main reason why we all tend to go for these as a platform to convert into you know, sort of speedrun machines, because they are very capable for the money. So we have covered the fact that I think this is going to be very popular when it comes to people who enjoy doing speedruns. Let's talk about the color scheme a little bit, because I know when I actually did the last video, there was a couple of comments out there that people said they liked the color scheme. There were some people that said they didn't like the color scheme. To be honest, it's a little bit like Marmite. You either like it or you don't. I have to be honest, I didn't really like it when I see the photos, but when I actually received it, it did start to grow on me a little bit. And when I sort of look at it now, I do think to myself, it really doesn't look that bad at all. Now, again, like with the 124018, this does come with a 2200 milliamp 2S LiPo. You do get an included USB charger, and again, it's pretty much the same sort of transmitter that you get with the 124018. Okay, so we're going to move on to the number one spot then. What is the number one top cheap budget RC you can buy for under $100? Well, guys, you know, I don't think there's any surprise here. You're all going to know what it is. I'm pretty sure you knew what it was before you actually got this far into the video. And yes, it is still the 144001. Now, first of all, it does come in cheaper than the 124019, but also cheaper than the 124018 as well. It does come in a little bit cheaper. Now, bearing in mind, really all you're getting is the 5 centimeter longer wheelbase with the other two models. The 144001 is going to satisfy most people, but not only that, but being a little bit smaller, it's also more portable and easy to just throw in a bag and go. Now, the 144001 is a little bit older compared to the 124019 and the 124018. For this reason, the 144001 does have a really, really big following, especially on Facebook. There's a lot of groups out there that actually specialize in these things. There's a massive aftermarket support. People have done a lot of mods on these things, so it's definitely worth checking out some of those Facebook groups. If you are interested in actually buying one of these and doing some mods to it yourself, be sure to go and check those out. So I did mention that it's actually smaller and more portable than the other two. Now, I think being the shorter wheelbase, it can potentially be a little bit more fun as well, especially when it comes to doing stunts and jumps and all that sort of stuff. I do find that the 144001 is a little bit more fun when it comes to that stuff. In the box, you get a 1500 milliamp 2S LiPo again, pretty much the same USB charger that you get with the others, and pretty much the same transmitter as well. But overall, a nice little package, nice and cheap. You do get a lot of metal components, just like the other two as well, which makes this a very, very good first RC for someone. But not only that, at that price point, it's definitely got to be at the number one spot. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. I also hope you actually agree with me, and you actually agree that the 144001 still remains to be at the top spot. I think that is probably going to remain there for quite a while, until another RC comes out that can offer pretty much everything this can, but potentially for a cheaper price. I really think it's going to take a lot to actually knock this thing off the number one spot. But yeah, I think we've narrowed it down. So there you go then, we've had a look at the top 5 cheap budget RCs you can actually get in 2021 for under $100. Now, you do have to bear in mind, this list is based on my opinion. I have used every RC on this list, and I've tried to be as honest as possible and give you my little verdict on all 5 of these RCs. I really don't think you can go wrong with any of them. The 144001 I think will remain to be one of the most versatile, cheap and beginner-friendly RCs there actually is. It does offer a lot for the money, and I think it's going to take a lot to actually get anything that will knock that off the number one spot. Okay, so we're going to leave it there today. Be sure to like this video. If there's anything you want to talk about or any questions you want to ask me about any of the RCs mentioned today, feel free to leave a comment down below. And like I said before, be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest RC content. Cheers guys, and I'll see you again soon on the next video. Take care.